y'all see the hands, y'all? I'm telling y'all, the hands are very, very, very reliable. Anyway, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with Sharp. I'm your host, Tyrone Sharper, and look, y'all see what I got in my hand. Football is back, baby. Yes. Week 1 has come to an end officially. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm not gonna cover all sports. We just gonna talk football today, y'all. We're gonna go over some scores. We're gonna look at a few games, and I also want to talk about a couple things I saw outside of the games that we can get into and discuss. But I'm so glad you're back, and let me just thank y'all, man. Let me thank y'all for watching episode 1. I really appreciate it. I got some good positive feedback, man, and I'm sending a love right back to y'all, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. So without any further ado, let's hop into episode 2 with this edition of What's the Final? Alright, y'all, so we got quite a few games that we got to get to, so I'm going to move kind of fast through this segment so I can get you guys all the scores. Anyway, let's go back to last Thursday where the Texans and the Chiefs officially kicked off the season. On Thursday night, the Chiefs won this game by a final score of 34-20. Patrick Mahomes, he threw for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns, but the rookie, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had a great game. 138 yards and 1 touchdown in his first ever NFL game. Shout out to the Chiefs. They're trying to go back-to-back, defending Super Bowl champions. We'll see if they can do it. History tells us it's very, very hard, but we'll be watching. Next game I want to look at is the Bills and the Jets. The Jets lose this one to the Bills by a final score of 27-17. Josh Allen, he threw for 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, and did not turn the ball over. That's how you win the game, man. I'm telling you, you gotta keep that ball in your possession. And Stephon Diggs accounted for 86 of those yards. No touchdowns, but he did have 86 yards in that game. All right, y'all, so this next game is the Ravens and the Browns. The Browns just didn't show up on Sunday. The final score of this one, 38-6. Lamar Jackson having his way, 20 for 25, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns for the running back. Shout out to the Ravens. They actually destroyed the Browns, and they are now 1-0 after week 1. Now, let's look at the next game. That game being the Colts and the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they win the game by a final score of 27-20. Gardner Minshew, he threw for 173 yards and 3 touchdowns. All right, y'all. So, next game, Panthers, Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders to be correct. Las Vegas Raiders and the Carolina Panthers, they played, and the Raiders took this one. They won their first game as the Las Vegas Raiders by a final score of 34-30. It was a close one. I got a chance to see some of the highlights out of that game. Didn't get to see the whole game because there was a lot of games going on. But Christian McCaffrey ran for 96 yards in that game. And Teddy Bridgewater, he threw for 270 and a touchdown. All right, y'all, so this next game is the Bears and the Lions. Another good one that came down to the wire. Unfortunately, a drop pass by Dre Swift in the end zone that would have given the Lions the lead with about 5 seconds left. He dropped the ball, and they lost the game 27-23. Mitch Trubisky threw for 242 and 3 touchdowns. And David Montgomery, he rushed for 64. But the Bears come out on top with a little bit of help from the Lions. All right, the Seahawks and Falcons, they played one another in week 1. And I thought this game would be a lot closer than what it was. But Russell Wilson had other plans. Russell Wilson threw for 322 yards, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns overall for Russell Wilson. And the Seattle Seahawks beat the Atlanta Falcons 38-25. Thought it would be closer, but I guess not. So this next game is the Packers and the Vikings. The Packers. This was actually a shootout game. The Packers won this game 43-34. Aaron Rodgers said, okay, y'all want to bring the rookie in? Let me show y'all what I got. He threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The old man still showing y'all he got a lot left in the tank. Moving right along, y'all, we got the Niners and the Cardinals. How many of y'all had the Cardinals winning this game? Probably not a lot of y'all, but they did. They won this game 24-20. Kyle Murray in this game had 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But DeAndre Hopkins, his first game with his new team, 14 receptions, y'all. 14 receptions for 151 yards. We can see who Kyle Murray is going to like to throw that ball to. All right, y'all, this is a game that I was looking forward to seeing because I was looking at one man on the field. My man Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton, man. Shout out to him. He and the Patriots took on the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots win this game by a final score of 21-11. Cam Newton throwing the ball, he went 15 for 19 for 155 yards. He did not throw a touchdown pass. On the other hand, he did rush for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sony Michel also had a touchdown to contribute in this game. Patriots 1-0, Dolphins 0-1. So this next game is the Chargers and the Bengals. The Bengals welcoming rookie Joe Burrow to the NFL, getting his first taste of the league there. And unfortunately for him, it tastes like an L. The Bengals lose this game to the Chargers 16-13. They drop to 0-1. Tyrod Taylor threw for 208 yards. All right, Bucks Saints, y'all, is our next game. The Saints beat the Bucks 34-23. Tom Brady not looking like Tom Brady of old. It's week 1. It's a new system. I say give him a chance, man. You can never really count the guy out. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks who have played the game, but he didn't look like it this week. He threw a couple interceptions, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. That Saints defense looks very strong. They're very fast to the ball, and I think they played a great game. Saints, they move on 1-0, and the Bucks, the Super Bowl favorites is what I'm hearing. They drop to 0-1, and we gonna see how they respond next week. All right, so our next game is the Cowboys and the Rams. It was a close one. I watched this pretty much this entire game. It was a very close game, but the Rams come out on top 20-17. A couple of controversial calls we may have to take a look at in our You Make the Call segment, but the Rams do come out on top. I thought Jared Goff looked sharp as I've ever probably remember him being, to be totally honest. That's just my opinion. But that Rams defensive line is a force to be reckoned with. And of course, when you have Aaron Donald on your defensive line, you are always going to be a force to be reckoned with. We got the Giants and the Steelers. The Giants, they lose their first one to the Steelers by a final score of 26-16. The Steelers defense, they look pretty good too. They look like they were hungry for something. And that Giants offensive line, I don't think they got the call that the game was going to happen because they never quite showed up to the game. Saquon is a really good player, but they did not make it seem so. Didn't give him much to work with yesterday. And I think the mind-blowing stat of the week for me is that Ben Roethlisberger rushed for more rushing yards in the game than Saquon Barkley. Something's not right. The final game of week 1 was the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. The Titans won this one 16-14. Ryan Tannehill threw for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 31 carries, 116 yards. And Corey Davis also had 100 yards to add to this win. Alright, y'all, that'll do it for this week of What's the Final. Let's move on to our next segment, one that I like to call You Make the Call. Alright, y'all, for this week's You Make the Call, let's look at this play from the Cowboys and the Rams game. I think a call that really determined the outcome of the game or affected the outcome of the game. I want you guys to look at this play and you tell me, was it an offensive pass interference? Now, I will say Jalen Ramsey sold this one. He really did. I think he really put on a show to get the call. On the other hand, I do believe it's a call that could go either way because the arm is extended just a little bit. But I don't know if I would have called it during that time of game. It's a crucial call. But I want to know what you guys think about the play. You saw it. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Let me know. Is it an offensive pass interference or not? Don't be biased. See for what it is. I think the call could have went either way. But the refs called what they called, and that's how the game ended. I want to know what you think. You make the call. Alright, y'all, that'll do it for this edition of You Make the Call. Now let's move on to our next segment, one of my favorite segments of the show, Sharks Top Plays. Alright, y'all, for this one, let's go back to Thursday. Texas versus the Chiefs. The rookie up the middle makes a man miss. Whoop, whoop, excuse me, I'm going for 6. He gets into the end zone, touchdown, Chiefs, all over the Texans in that one. Alright, y'all, so this next play comes from the Chargers. Tyrod Taylor putting it down the field to my man Mike Williams. Boom, he gets it, but he holds on to the ball, man. I'm a big fan of Mike Williams. What a catch here. And if you're an athlete, you know how difficult it is. First down from Mike in that play. So the top play this week for Sharp's top plays of the week comes courtesy of the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson drops back, throws it to the back of the end zone, and what a one-hand grab by the tight end Mark Andrews. A beautiful, beautiful play right there to kick things off of the Browns getting beat down. That's right. They went on to destroy this team, man. But what a play, what a catch by Mark Andrews. And that's going to do it for Sharp's top plays, y'all. I love top plays of the week, man. I just love to go back and watch these plays and watch the athleticism of these players. But now we move on to our next segment, one that I like to call Going Local. Alright, y'all, this week Going Local, we have one team to talk about. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost their game after having a 17-point lead. Very disappointing to say the least, but it happened. And like I always say, y'all should know by now, anything can happen in the world of sports. The Eagles were favored in coming into this game by many people. But when you turn the ball over the way Carson did in this game, he had 2 turnovers, crucial turnovers in this game, and also a fumble very late in the game that really put that thing on ice. You lose. Granted, the Eagles were a little beat up in this game. They were missing a couple of key players, but there's no excuse. This is football, man. This is sports. And the Eagles know all about having that next man up mentality because they had to have it the year that they won the Super Bowl. There were a few players injured during that season, and they've been dealing with the injury bug the past couple of seasons, but it's no excuse. Get paid to play, go out there and play. When you get an opportunity, make the most of it. So next man up has to be ready to ball out. Now, they have another game coming up this week against a tough opponent in the Rams. We saw what the Rams could do against the Cowboys. I mean, their D-line was pretty strong. I think the Eagles are in big trouble with the Rams because they have a stud in Aaron Donald. A stud. And if this O-line is not healthy and not ready, they think Carson getting hit 8 times is a lot. Wait till this week where he could get hit probably like 15 times if they don't protect him. So the Eagles got to get it figured out this week. Last week is gone. Rehab your guys, reset your thinking, and get ready. It's only week 1. It's only week 1, but at the same time, you should have won that game, and you did it. So Eagles fall to 0-1. Washington 1-0. They lead the division. A team that wasn't expected to have any parts of success in the division. They lead the division after week 1, but like I said, it's very, very early. So we're going to see what happens in the coming weeks. But that's going to do it for this edition of Going Local. Guys, so that'll bring us to the end of our show. But y'all know we don't just slide off and leave. I got to give you guys the quote of the day. Alright, so today this quote is actually inspired by something I saw during the Chiefs and the Texans game. The players from both teams met in the middle of the field. They created one line across the field and they locked arms as a sign of unity. And as a result, the fans that were allowed at the game began to boo. Very distasteful, very disrespectful, and it just was not cool at all. And it really showed that there's a lot of work to be done in our country, and people like that is really what's going to keep our country from progressing. So today's quote is not from an athlete, a famous athlete or anything like that. It's actually a Swahili proverb, and it says unity is strength and division is weakness. We must understand that we are stronger together, and once we get that, we'll really see some growth in our country and within each other. So that's going to do it for this episode of Talking Sports with Sharp. Thank you guys for watching, and always remember, stay sharp.